Greetings, and welcome back to my Midnight Spook Show here on the Horror Metal channel. I'm Lord Hellhound, and today we're going to do another tag video. I was tagged by Bronco Juggalo, my good buddy and fellow YouTuber. If you haven't checked his channel out, and you're an avid watcher of my channel, tisk tisk, check it out if you haven't already. This is going to be called the My First 10 Horror Tag, created by Jamie Powell. Check out Jamie Powell's channel as well. This is going to be a very difficult tag for me to do, but I promised my buddy Bronco I would do it, and I don't want to let him down, so I'm going to try my best. Alright, because there's only one question, and the question is, what were the first 10 horror movies you ever watched? I have no idea. I've been watching horror movies obsessively since the age of 6. I have no idea where it all started. People always ask me what the first horror movie I ever saw was. I really wish I knew. Because I have a very good memory. I have a memory like an elephant. I remember when I first turned 3. I remember going to my granddad's house when I was 5. I remember everything is perfectly intact. I remember it vividly. But the thing is, I started watching these horror movies at such a young age, and I'd watch a bunch of them at a time. I'd go to the video store, I'd rent like maybe 6 of them, and I'd watch them all. I don't remember which one I watched first. I'd stay up really late after my parents went to bed, snuck out and watched them late at night. There was USA Up All Night, there was Monster Vision on TNT. I watched so many horror movies all at once. I have no idea what the first one was, so I've loved scary stuff as long as I can remember, because it's the one constant in my life. I haven't always been a metalhead, I haven't always been a sci-fi geek, but I've always been obsessed with haunted houses, cemeteries, eerie cornfields at night. Just anything gives me a good creepy feeling. I love scary stuff, ghost stories, just creepy, ominous settings. It's been my favorite thing forever. It's been the one constant. I've liked that stuff as long as I can remember. It's been the one thing that I've always loved and always will love. The other things may come and go, but I've always loved scary stuff. And so, yeah, I've been watching them obsessively since a very young age. Probably too young, but I turned out fine, right? But anyway, I guess I'll do my best shot, but most of this is just going to be speculating. This is purely conjecture, because I really don't remember. I have no idea what the first one was. I don't even really know what the first 10 were. All I know is by the age of 12, I had seen and even owned on VHS pretty much every entry in every big-name horror franchise. All the well-known ones, all the Fridays and Nightmares and Halloweens and Chucky's. I had them all the ones that were out up to that point anyway. I don't know which one came first, but I'll give it my best shot. I don't know what the first one was. I'll give it my best shot. Here are the 10 ones that I think may have been one of the first. Again, I might have saw some of them years later. I really don't know. They all kind of ran together because I saw so many at one time. And I even asked my mom and my dad what they thought my first horror movie was. They couldn't even remember because it's been such a long time. Anyway, here it goes. I'll give my best shot. I know I saw the original Psycho from 1960 at a very young age. It was not the first horror movie I'd ever seen, for sure. But I remember it was late at night. It was on TV. I was watching it. I actually fell asleep, not because it was a boring movie by any means. It's a masterpiece, but because I was so tired. It was really late at night, and I was young. I was just a little kid. And then I couldn't wait to see the ending. I didn't see the ending. I couldn't wait to watch the rest of the movie, so I went and rented it from the video store and watched the rest of it. Fell in love with it. It blew me away. But it wasn't the first horror movie I'd saw. I was already probably a whole veteran at this point, actually. Again, like by the age of 12, I'd already seen and I'd already had extensive knowledge of all this stuff. I was already an alumni of horror. It started, I don't even remember where it started. It was so long ago. But yeah, Psycho was one of the first, I think. The original Halloween, again, I started at the beginning. I do remember that I started at the beginning of every series. I may have saw bits and pieces of some of the sequels, but I remember I started the original in every series. I like to watch them in order. I like to begin where it actually started. So I know that I saw the first entry of each series first, even though I probably saw parts of the sequels. So Psycho, the original Halloween. This is going to be a very boring list, by the way. Bronco did a much better job, and everybody I'm tagging at the end is going to do a better job, because they probably remember. They might have started watching horror movies later in life. Maybe they remember better. And all mine are kind of generic. All the big name, all the obvious horror movies. When you start as a horror fan, I don't think you go for the more obscure, more hard to find stuff right away. You start with the big names, and then you start getting into the more rare stuff that not as many people know about. So yeah, this is going to be a very kind of generic list, and I don't even know how accurate it is. I'm just guessing. So yeah, okay, so let's go with enough tangents. Let's go with Psycho, the original Halloween. the original Friday the 13th, though I know I saw clips of maybe the final chapter on TV before. I don't remember which movie was the latest one when I saw the original. Maybe part 7. When I first saw the original, I think part 7 had been the latest one. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I'm just guessing. The original Nightmare on Elm Street, I remember renting from the video store. I remember maybe first grade, a kid, his name was Samuel Stalker. He brought in a book about Nightmare on Elm Street into school, and he started reading all about Freddy Krueger, and I was obsessed. I was like, that sounds so awesome. So I went and immediately rented it from the video store. I really loved Nightmare on Elm Street. It was years before I saw any of the sequels. I think the most recent one at the time might have been part 5. Again, I don't know. When I eventually saw the movie, I don't even remember if I saw it that same year, but that the kid brought the book into school. I think it was. So yeah, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So okay, so we got so far Psycho, Friday, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, all very generic. I remember staying up really late one night and watched House, the first House on TV. I don't think it was one of the first ones I saw, but let's just get things moving. American Werewolf in London, I know I saw at a very young age. I remember, again, I don't think it was the first 10, but hell, I don't know. Maybe Christine? The Shining. The Shining was definitely one of the first ones I saw. Okay, that was definitely probably the first 10, at least the first 20. I'm sucking at this, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's 8. 2 more. Gosh, I don't even know. Again, this is just pure speculation. I'm just grasping at straws. I'm trying to remember, because I'd already seen so many. I'd watched so many at a time, so it's really hard to pinpoint where it started and which ones I saw first in order. 2 more. I know I didn't see Hellraiser until a little bit later. It definitely wasn't one of the first 10. Did I mention Hellraiser already? I don't even know. I don't think I did. I don't know. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that Psycho was one of the first 10, but I could be wrong. Alright, yeah, 2 more. I'm just trying to think of 2 more. Okay, I know I saw the original Child's Play, but that was like later. I know I'd already seen plenty of horror movies before that, but it was one of the earliest ones I remember. So again, I had already seen other horror movies, so I don't know. I don't think that was one of the first. But let's just say it was to get things moving. Okay, 1 more. Gosh, I don't know. I think I saw Cat's Eye on TV one time. You know, the segment with the killer troll or whatever it was. It had a face kind of like a turtle and it wore a jester's cap, and they killed it by putting it in a fan, which sliced it up into pieces. It came out of the wall and it was trying to it was Drew Barrymore, I think, and she was a young Drew Barrymore, and it was like holding her nose, trying to steal her breath or something, and the cat was the one who actually knocked it into the fan. I haven't seen the movie since then, so I'm just going by memory. I literally haven't watched it since I saw it all those years ago, and I think it might have been one of the first horror movies I saw. Again, I could be wrong. Yeah, I remember that segment, that last segment. There was 3 segments, I think. That was the last one. There was one where a guy was supposed to quit smoking. There's one where a guy was forced to scale a high-rise apartment building, the outside of it, the ledge. He was forced to walk along the ledge. That's all I remember. But I remember the 3rd segment, the troll, elf, demon thing really stuck out. So that was one of the earlier ones. So let's just go with those 10. Again, I don't know if they're in the right order. I don't know if they were the first 10. I don't know if I saw some of them. I probably saw some of them later when I was already like a seasoned horror veteran. Again, guys, I've been watching these horror movies obsessively since I was 6. I've liked horror as long as I can remember. It started when I was, literally it probably started when I was an infant, watching Scooby-Doo or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I always loved Halloween. I'd love to know where it started. I'd love to know my origins, where it all began, but I really don't remember. I'd love to know what the first horror movie I watched was. All right, guys, sorry I didn't do a better job on this. Anyway, sorry, Bronco. I did my best. Thanks for tagging me. Check out his channel. Check out Jamie Powell's channel. I'm going to tag HorrorFan88, Amy's Autopsy Report, Gorshack13, Geek Legion of Doom, and random horror, 5 people. So you've been tagged, and you're definitely going to do a better job than I did because I just kind of failed at this because I really don't remember. It's been so long. Great memory, but I watched them all at once. It all happened all at once. I don't remember the order, and I don't remember which ones I saw later because I just remember loving these movies as long as I can remember. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching my Midnight Spook Show. I'm Lord Hellhound. This has been the Horror Metal Channel. Until next time, later.